welcome to The Best Band I Ever Played With. This is a podcast about people who play live music, people who aren't necessarily famous for doing it, and not even people who always do it as their main source of income. But these are people who are the unsung heroes. They make up the bulk of the musical ecosystem. They play in small venues, small pubs, in front of not always that many people. They are nonetheless interesting people with interesting stories. My guest for this episode is someone I've shared lineups with before, and he's another graduate of the prestigious Hull underground music scene. His band Bdrmm, stylised Bdrmm, have been on an upward trajectory for a while now, with their dream pop / shoegaze stylings gathering many fans, including The Guardian's Alexis Petridis, who describes them as sounding fantastic, a dense mesh of effects-heavy guitars somewhere between shoegazing and 80s Cure. In this chat we talk about how well it's been going despite the pandemic. We talk about how surreal some of the critical acclaim that their album has been receiving by looking at Rough Trade's Album of the Year list, which has interestingly placed Bdrmm at 8. And of course we talk about the best band that he's ever played with. There'll be more from me at the end, but for now please enjoy this conversation with Ryan Smith of Bdrmm. When was the last time you played a gig?
Oh, well, the last time we played a gig was in January of this year, and it was at the Victoria, which was pretty good. Yeah, it was really good, to be fair. It was, well, you just didn't really know lockdown was going to happen, and then, I can't remember who we played with.
Was that the Victoria in Dalston? Or?
Dalston, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool place. Honestly can't even fucking remember. It was that long ago, really. I know it was really good, and people came, so it was nice to go out at a show where people come to. But yeah, that was it, and it was. Oh, I really wish I knew who we were playing with.
I'm trying to look it up now.
God, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it does feel like ages, doesn't it? CL? CIEL.
Yes.
I think I've seen them.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
I really like them.
I feel like they did a remix of like a Home Shake track, but there was also like possibly another band called that. But I definitely remember saying, "Oh yeah, that's who they are."
Yeah, the Dutch people, but they live in Brighton.
Yes, that is them. Yeah, they were sound, to be fair.
Yeah, I saw them play. And you know what? This is quite a nice continuity link from the last episode that I did.
Oh wow! I'm glad I could bring continuity to us.
There you are, because they were on the same lineup as when I last saw a guest from episode 6, Rory Lethbridge, who was playing with a band called BB Music that night.
Oh well, what have they got to offer? Where was that? How the question has now flipped to me asking you.
Well, I can't even remember if I left this bit in the cut for episode 6, but
deleted scene coming at you.
Yeah, because Rory plays in a bunch of bands other than the main one that I was asking him about, and one of them was called BB Music, which is I think a 7 or 8 piece, or it's there's quite a lot of people on stage, which is always quite fun to watch. And they go for a really tight 60s kind of kinksy, Village Green Preservation Society kinks.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe, and
And what are they called? BB Music.
I think BB or BB Music, something like that. I think spelt BEBE. So I think it kind of looks like Bebe.
Nice.
Yeah. And that, I remember they were. It was one of those things, when you see someone and they're they're clearly like going for a thing. And it's always nice to see people who have got like a good idea of where it is
where
they want
to be. Yeah.
And I remember thinking that about them.
Wow. Good for BB.
Yeah. If you'd like to hear more about members of BB Music, why not have a listen of episode 6 with Rory Lethbridge from School Disco.
Sponsored by Bisto.
I need some sponsors. That's what I need. That's quite fun, isn't it? The whole getting signed onto record label things and that, isn't it? It's quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it's just always Sonic Cathedral. They're just good. Like the Sub Pop publishing thing was that was just stupid. You just don't really expect things like that to happen. So, but sometimes it does, and then you just got to be grateful for it, I guess, because it doesn't really happen. It's just getting like Sonic Cathedral are just like the one, because it's like I remember that when they asked us, they asked us if we wanted to like record a 7-inch. I'd had like the worst night out the night before, and woke up and like just said that it was just like the worst day ever. And then just to get that message being like, "Do you want to release a 7-inch?" and it just makes you like, I was like fucking nearly in tears, probably the hangover, but it's just like even, it's just good. It's just very nice.
Must be quite affirming, nice to know that people are out there and they like it,
Yeah, it's really nice. Like it just never gets like. There's always like even like with the Sub Pop thing, it seemed like it was fucking ace, but then it's that like there's a like underlying thing, especially at the moment, like when trying to write like the second album or whatever, it's like it's really exciting, but also there is like a certain amount of pressure that comes with wanting to continue people enjoying it. Fingers crossed that'll happen.
Fingers crossed. A recurring topic of my conversations thus far has also been the releasing of music whilst you can't go and play loads of gigs everywhere, because it's a bit of a, some people, I was chatting to one person who was saying that they've ended up having like just sitting on a whole EP worth of music for a while. Whether I guess the release of your album was scheduled pre-lockdown, presumably.
Yeah.
But it seems to have gone basically as well as it could possibly have gone.
Yeah,
given the circumstances.
Honestly, it was like it couldn't have happened better. Like I think I was thinking about it the other day, and like it kind of works in our favour because I feel like the fact that lockdown happened, there was a lot less people have released music than would have released music this year. I think a lot of like, because if lockdown never happened or like COVID never happened, everything would just be going to the same, and I don't think we would have, like, it would never have done as well because there'd be so much more releases and people to, like, there'd just be a lot more music out there, wouldn't there? But so it like, yeah, but for it going to happen the way it did has just been a blessing in disguise. Obviously, I wish it never happened because it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
It is a fucking nightmare, but hopefully not for long.
Yeah, hopefully not for long. Be nice to go to a bedroom gig.
It'd be nice to go to a show in general. Did you have any like shows booked that you was going to go to?
Yeah, Happiness were playing gigs, and I think that got shifted to November, and I was planning to go and see them in November. And I think I was planning to go see them earlier in the year. I can't remember when, but I don't remember. I was definitely planning on like getting out to more like, oh, it's a Friday. I wonder if anyone's playing a gig at the Brixton Windmill.
Yeah, that was like kind of like the beauty of the thing that you missed the most.
Yeah,
is the like just going out or just going to like looking out and seeing like, oh, this is tonight. Let's just go to that.
I'll just go down there. I'll pay £3 to go in, and
I'll probably just have a good night. Yeah,
see what's happening. You know, have a couple. If it's bad, then I'll just have a couple of drinks and go home.
Yeah, exactly.
I miss that. You know, that I think we all took it for granted. Really, I think I probably wasn't doing enough of it. In hindsight, I'd definitely like to do more when it comes out.
That's probably like a good thing that people. Well, I would take more from it. Is that like I didn't really do that as much as I should.
Yeah.
Like it was always like the supporting local artists kind of thing. It's like even if like I was still in Hull, and like even going to like a random like a Thursday night at just a pub or something, like that now seems like such a good night for me. Like just a good thing to do. That I think a lot of people will start doing that more. So there's always this cloud in the lining that's silver.
Yeah. Yeah. The lining of the cloud that is silver is there. In that sense. Sound was like pretty off that night, and when we played, we got a bit down about it because we couldn't really hear anything. And I remember there was a fair few people there, and we were like wanting to make sure that we were sounding okay. So,
yeah.
I remember a couple of us like got in a bit of a strop about it, and then you guys went up to play, and then you came off, and I think I asked you like, oh, like how was the sound for you? And you were like, oh, it was shit, but you know what you're gonna do. And I remember thinking then, and also reflecting upon it now, that you seemed to be you weren't having a strop, but I think you didn't. It seemed to like kind of rub off you a little easier than it did for us. And I remember thinking like that's a pretty good attitude to have. Would you? Yeah, so I guess my question to you is,
how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, how do you do that? It's really frustrating. And also, you talk about like you seem to really, you guys all really enjoy hitting the road and touring and stuff, and like, I've seen you come down to London to play a gig and then like all drive back up north like at midnight, like just so people could go to work the next day, and it's like. You seem to be able to. You're very rugged. You can endure all of the tediousness.
I mean, luckily for me, I'm the one that's never driving, so like, no matter what, like I will still be able to enjoy the night. I'll leave that as abruptly as it could be understood. But yeah, I think it's just the sound at Polar Bear was shit. Like, and we do like get. Really, like we do get frustrated, but I think it just the one thing that I got well, the thing that I got taught, not taught the most, I understood the most, is that if you're ever playing like a show, to not let it like affect your, like make it like you shouldn't show that you're being affected by it, because I think then the people that have come to see you will, as soon as they know that you're not having a good time, you won't be like, it kind of ruins the whole atmosphere for everybody. So at least you can just like try and get on with it for the others, and also just drink a lot before you go on, and then it's just always fun. But not too much, like a certain show, Polar Bear, where you just, I mean, you have spats of too much alcohol.
It'll seem like you're having a good time because no one they don't no one out there is thinking about like the sound for you.
I don't think it like really, it wasn't something that like it was taught or learned. It was just something that I think it was just somebody said it, like, and like it was definitely, I've probably played a show in the past, and like it's just been like, as soon as, because like back in the day, back in the other bands, if you played a bad show, like it'd definitely let it get to me, and it'd just be like, you get halfway through and the sound would be shit, and you'd just be fucking, there's nothing you can do. And even like back then, I'd never have the confidence myself to like say like mid-set, can you change something in monitors or something like that? Like that, like back in the day, that seemed so professional to me. Like to be able to, like, how the fuck are you playing a guitar and like pointing to the sky, meaning the microphone needs to go up? I think it's just something that like, maybe if you watch so many people play shows, or I think it's just when you actually want to do it, like it might just like come a bit more naturally. But to like, I think we must have just played a lot of Polar Bear shows and we understood the music was shit, so like you couldn't really do anything about it. If like, it's just, you can't really, I think it's just, for me personally, it's always like you're there for like half an hour to like enjoy yourself as much as the other people to enjoy themselves, and like I'm not going to let somebody else ruin it for me just because they don't know how to push a button or something. So just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
I think it's a really good bit of advice, that really good thing to bear in mind, because you can let it get to you and it doesn't really do much for you if you do let it get to you.
No, literally, like, because then it just ends up being like, especially like if you've gone all this way and it's like, there's nothing, to be fair, like if like an instrument cuts out, that's when like I'd not be okay. And I think like it's as soon as like your pedal board didn't work or whatever, then it's like, that's when I'd get a bit cross. But I think when it's just sound, I think it's all, and as always you get told like, oh, it sounded good out here though.
Yeah,
that's always like a common polite thing you say to someone who's not enjoying themselves after a show.
I remember that night at the Polar Bear coming off, and like just Aaron like fuming off down there and coming off and like, oh, you guys sounded great. I was like, oh, we couldn't hear anything, mate. I was like, oh, it sounded great out here. Like from everyone, it's like, oh.
I can't wait for David Byrne's second book. It sounds good out here.
Yeah, sounds good out here, mate.
That's your soundbite there.
Working Men's Club, Thurston Moore, Tom Mish and Yusuf Days, Caribou, Idols, and Waxahachie. What do they all have in common?
Um, they've all used a guitar.
The answer I was looking for was their albums this year all place lower than Bedroom by Bedroom on Rough Trade's Album of the Year list 2020.
Oh man. On that note, I need another piss. As they have a Caribou as well. I really like the singles.
Yeah.
Home especially was a big one for me on his releases this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Caribou. Big
Yeah,
name,
Caribou.
man.
Yeah,
Big
literally.
name. Slain by the Bedroom
Honestly.
Boys.
Well, there's 5 of us, I guess.
Yeah. So that's unfair, really, because I feel like Rough Trade should have taken that.
Exactly.
into
Imagine
account.
5 caribous. What's like the collective term for 5 caribous? Is a caribou a bird? Is it a fish?
It's a kind of a caribou is like a bison thing, right? It's like a big animal, big cowish animal.
Cowish animal is a great name for a band.
Yeah, I've just looked up the collective noun for caribou. It's a herd of caribou.
Wow.
Which is less fun than I thought it would be. Oh no, caribou is like a kind of deer. It's like a stag. I'm looking at them now.
How do you look?
They're like a type of reindeer.
If you could summarise a bison, a caribou in 5 words, what would it be?
Is that an
Like
animal?
say if like
caribou?
you was trying to describe that animal to me, so I had to guess what it was in 5 words.
Okay, I would
Solo
say
artist, electronic, 4 legs.
Fucking hell. But that's weird though. You know. Do you think your album was the 8th best album of the year?
I don't honestly. I can't really think of like when I try and think of other albums like off the top of my head that got released this year. I can't really like. There was nothing that really like, stood. Not saying that this is like maybe like, oh, there's now stood out, which should be number 1.
This is the soundbite.
No, well, I just didn't expect anything. Didn't expect anyone to take to it as much as it got took to. So, I guess number 8 in the top 10 I'll take as number 8 out of 10 in my expectations of the year. I'd put us at number 8 if there was only 10 albums put out.
If there were only 10 albums.
And we got 8, then
Wow.
I'd be still as happy as I am now.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm just surprised Idols
That's
went up
pretty
there.
cool. Yeah, you beat Idols.
Where were they? Just out of curiosity.
Idols placed 14th in
Oh,
this
wow.
list.
Half and a bit, maybe.
Yeah, but you weren't as good as Pigs.
No,
They were one better than
I
you.
did see. Have you ever seen them? Pigs.
No, I've never seen them, but it's a name.
It's a name. It's a name. I saw them play at Brood. It was Black Country New Road, then them, and then Beak, and it was a sandwich of good pigs, and then good.
Should we take that to mean that you think that
It should have been number 9. This is
Are we initiating beef with pigs,
I
pigs,
think
pigs,
we
pigs,
might
pigs,
be.
pigs, pigs?
Part 2's lit.
There's not enough beef.
No, that's it, right in the pig.
There's just not.
There's not enough beef in a pig. Maybe 7. Jesus.
Yeah, 7. Who else was better than you? Dream Wife were better than you. Ryan Smith of Bdrmm. You've done a lot of gigs here and there in lots of places, but who would you say is the best band that you ever played with?
The best band we've ever played with, I personally ever played with, is the band Raze. The band that I am speaking to of the podcaster, just because when you start like in a band, you always want to like start the band friendships. I think is how you try and like get somewhere in anything. And you were the band that we just we just always love to play with you, and it was just I feel like it was just always nice to hang out. It was always nice to like genuinely always wanted to watch you play because Purple is the best song ever made. And it was just, it was exciting. It was more exciting to know that we were going to be playing with you guys because we knew we were going to have a good time. We knew the people we were going to be watching were going to be good, and it was just. I feel like that's what the most important thing is about playing. Like getting someone to support you. You want not saying that you was just the people that supported us, but the people you play with. you want to like watch the people you play with. And it was, yeah, that was it. It was just you guys.
So, I've had a listen to Raze.
Yeah.
No. Well, thanks for saying that. That's really nice of you.
Has anyone said that before?
No. No one said that before.
Well, that just cements how strong our relationship is.
That's so nice of you. Because, I'd echo everything that you just said there about you guys. I think I really enjoyed. I can't remember who I was talking about this to before, but it's definitely less fun to do gigs when other people on the lineup like aren't your kind of thing, and then, and you feel like you want to be watching it, you want to be supporting your fellow musician.
Yeah, but there's always a fag to smoke or a drink to go get.
Yeah, and it's like if it is not something you want to watch the whole way through, then yeah, there is that drink.
Yeah, there's always like something to be doing
drink.
other than being at the place that you're going to spend 4 hours that you're meant to be there for.
Yeah. I think, yeah. So I think that was always one of the nice things. Like whenever we would do a gig together, it was like locked in that all right, like one of the acts that's on this lineup will be good to watch.
Literally.
Like, yeah. And I think that's definitely one of like you say, if anyone out there is listening and is in a band, some advice would be find some pals. And do a bunch of shows with that band, because it just becomes easier. Because first off, there's always someone you can ask to borrow stuff off, and it's less awkward, and you don't have to do the 6 set, man. Can I have your amp?
There's always a guitar
please?
to borrow.
Always a guitar to borrow. Yeah, I mean,
It's
thanks.
like, I didn't mean to make you feel awkward. This was always going to be my answer. It was a toss up between you and Gengar. So like you just bit some by the punch. I think that's the thing. The silver lining.
Fuck you, Gengar.
There's,
I mean, Gengar is probably that's another good band that you've played with, I'd say.
there's been like, to be fair, we've played, there's been people. It was from the general enjoyingness of playing with people. So it's nice to like them.
Yeah. Quite weird, really.
Yeah, how do we finish this now?
Don't know what questions can I ask you about my band?
Oh, is this what you're going to? Shit. Oh no, please do ask. I'm excited. Who's your favourite member?
Yeah, who's your favourite member of Raze?
I really like that drummer you had for a bit. I think that was the Polar Bear show.
No. There's too much politics in play here.
That's the question.
I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Ryan Smith. If you like the sound of him and would like to check out his music, Bdrmm's album is out. It's available to stream, to buy, all the usual places. There's some pretty tasty, different coloured vinyls here and there. I think Rough Trade are doing some stuff. If you want to check out the best band Ryan ever played with, apparently that is Raze. Check out Wither's House, available to stream on Spotify. Well, I think that's about it. If you liked this podcast, give it a like, give it a share. Tell your friends, tell your parents. The cover art was done by Isaac Gray. I recorded the podcast and did all the music that you're hearing now. And from here to wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.